Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Khan and welcome to Got a Minute with Dr. Z. Today we're going to be talking about school uniforms and we have some guests from Mitchell Nelson Elementary School. But before I talk to my guests, what I'm going to read for you is something I've picked up as a newspaper article today, and it reads as follows. School uniforms is an issue which has caused a lot of debate in the last few years. Many students feel they lose their identity when everyone is required to wear the same clothes to school. Others feel a school uniform makes students feel equal. Many teachers and school administrators are looking to school uniforms or a uniform dress code as a means for instilling a feeling of discipline to create this atmosphere of learning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mitchell Nelson Elementary School has embarked on a very courageous voyage, a voyage of discovery and self-learning. It's a voyage where you, at some point, decided we want to do this. And talk to us about the Mitchell Nelson story. Mr. Lyles?
Okay. I'm Greg Lyles, principal at Mitchell Nelson Elementary School. This issue of uniform dress code started back as we looked at school improvement, ways we could improve our school, ways we could improve student discipline. As a part of the parent survey we looked at the implementation of an alternative calendar as well as a uniform dress code. The results came back sort of split as far as the alternative calendar was concerned, but overwhelming support for a uniform dress code. And so we began a committee. We talked to teachers about their ideas, and so we had a committee to go out and research uniform dress codes of different schools. And this brings us to the point where we are today.
So, Mr. Lyles, is this your 5th month in operation, about 5 to 6 months into school uniforms?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lamb, what do you think about school uniforms? And tell us a little bit about your involvement with school uniforms at Mitchell Nelson Elementary.
Hi, I'm Karen Lamb, Assistant Principal at Mitchell Nelson Elementary. And as Mr. Lyles stated, this came about because we were looking at our school improvement plan, and as we are always looking at ways to improve our school. But we noticed that there was a need there, for some correction in our dress code. And we, the faculty, talked with each other. We had held parent meetings to talk with our parents about this. And as Mr. Lyles said, there was unanimous support from parents. So we developed a committee, got them together, and this committee decided basically what our school uniform dress code would be. But as Mr. Lyles stated, it has widely affected our discipline plan for the better. And so I've kind of been involved in it all along the way in each of those steps through the parent meetings, surveys to parents, committees, etc. So.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Lamb. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and share one of your students' comments on school uniforms. Her name is Savannah. Let's watch.
It's nice to walk in because you see all your friends wearing the same thing, and it's helped me become a better learner because we have no problems with teasing or anything like that because we're all wearing the same thing. It's nice because a few of the kids, pants are low, so the belts really help with that.
Okay, good.
And the shirts, it is nice because of the collar. Like some of them, they would hang a little low. I like the collar because it just kind of comes up on your neck. It's easier for the kids to pick out their clothes in the morning. My mother says it's great. She wishes that my other little brothers did it because, it's just so much easier for them. And she likes the colors and how I can wear a skirt and pants.
Wow, from the mouths of babes. Is that interesting? Ms. Bryan, What do you think about school uniforms? After watching Savannah talk about that, do you want to talk to us about your involvement with school uniforms at Mitchell Nelson Elementary?
Yes, Dr. Kahn, I'm Mary Jo Braun, and I work in the office and have for many years, and seen all sorts of things come and go dress-wise. Sometimes we didn't cover our bodies well enough, and this kind of takes care of that situation. The collared shirts, the pants, the belts, that indeed makes a difference in our boys and girls, and they're not worried about what they're wearing as much now. We don't center on that as much as we did with our costumes that we wore in previous years.
So can I say we have a different focus, a different place we need to harness that energy and put forth?
Could be.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's watch Samantha. Samantha is very interesting also in this interview. She also talks about her perspective about school uniforms. Let's watch.
I think this could be a good thing because, like, it makes their school look better and it makes us look nicer. Well, I think it has made a difference, and, like, I think that we look nicer, and from some of the teachers I've heard that we've gotten more comments from other people saying that we look nicer in our uniforms than our regular clothes. I think it's different that everybody's calmer and stuff because everybody's wearing the same thing and nobody has to judge anybody about what they look like.
I felt very happy that we can play outside with the uniforms on and everything. Everybody look like the same sometimes. You can walk around the school, everything with these on.
I think it was a really good decision because kids were wearing things that really wasn't appropriate for school, maybe at home, but I was kind of happy when school uniforms popped up. Well, yeah, because kids would make fun of each other saying that you were wearing a different shirt or you were wearing different pants, and just because they lost a football game or something. And now they can't say anything like that because you're all wearing the same something. Miss McCullough can actually have more time teaching instead of kids bickering around just because they're not wearing the same clothes. If the school system was like really failing because kids making and bickering about what clothing, I think it'd really be a good decision for that school to change to school uniforms. Kids are going to bicker about clothing, then yes, I do think it's going to be a good decision for that school to change to uniforms also.
Wow. And Samantha has a lot of words of wisdom for us. Mrs. Kahn, would you like to respond to what Samantha says and also some of your involvement with school uniforms?
I'm Biljana Kahn, and I'm a school counselor at Mitchell Nelson Elementary. And from my perspective as a counselor, I think that there have been a lot of positive changes. Just like Samantha shared, there is that sense of a feeling of calmness and a feeling of cooperation among students. I think it also it has increased a sense of pride for being in our school and a sense of togetherness and belonging because the students feel equal. Everybody's dressed the same, everybody looks the same. In addition, it's also helping with students just being more focused in the classroom on learning instead of worrying about what somebody else is, how somebody's dressed and what they wear. So I think that in addition helps the teacher focus more on the teaching than worrying about the discipline issues. Also, I've noticed changes as far as bullying goes. We didn't have a lot of issues this year about that, and I think it has certainly decreased, and there are positive changes there. So it's, I think there are a lot of positive things. I think it also helps with those parents that come from a lower socioeconomic status, because it kind of balances that socioeconomic field. It helps those students feel comfortable because everybody looks the same. They don't have to worry about going home and asking parents to purchase the clothes that are that comes with the goes along with the fashion trends. So there's less stress, I think, at home altogether, even in the mornings, and decreases struggles about what to wear, what not to wear. So there's a lot of positives, I believe.
Thank you, Mrs. Kahn. Mr. Lyles and Ms. Lamb, talk to us about what Mrs. Kahn's talking about, any differences that you overtly over time seen with regards to academic achievement. What are the differences? What's different now than before? Can you give us some numbers or give us some data or maybe some feedback about that? Maybe people, teachers out there in other schools listening in today or administrators would want to know your story and what's different now in 6 months.
At the very beginning of the school year, in the fall, it was a noticeable difference in the school climate. There seemed to have been a calmness in the building. Students, as one of the students referred to earlier, they didn't come in comparing themselves. Oh, look at the shoes you have on. Oh, look at this T-shirt you have on. Those kinds of things. Those were not issues because everybody started on an equal playing field. And also at the beginning of the school year, we saw very few office referrals because I think, again, students felt good about themselves. They came in with a higher level of self-esteem, I believe, at the beginning of the school year.
Okay.
I would certainly agree with what Mr. Lyles stated. As far as data is concerned, in January we sent home a parent survey to gather some data from our parents to a questionnaire, and one of the questions on there was, do you feel that our school uniforms has helped our school this year? It has been a positive thing for us this year. And overwhelmingly, our parents came back and said yes, that they did believe that it had helped our school climate overall. So I do believe that we have the statistics there from our parents to show that our parents are quite pleased with the uniforms. The majority of our parents did agree that it had helped us. So I do believe that we have some data to back that up at this point, and hopefully we can continue to keep that rolling.
And I was thinking about when you were talking about just the positive atmosphere in the school. From my experience, just by speaking with some of the students and teachers as well, I found that both teachers and students believe that they learn better and they get better grades, and there are fewer discipline issues when students wear uniforms. And so that's something that I found very interesting, because when there's a positive expectation, they both believe this. I think that's really important, because those positive perceptions can affect the learning, and when teachers have those high expectations, then the students will have high expectations also, that they will get those better grades, and it's related to the uniforms. So I think it's something very positive.
Thank you. Here's another article. It says, reasons for wearing school uniforms. Number 1, it helps save time in the morning. Number 2, it stops feelings of jealousy. Number 3, it helps reduce discipline problems so that teachers can teach and students can learn. And lastly, it sets the tone for proper work attitude.